Willie D Live.
It's Willie D, y'all, back with another episode of information and instructions to help you navigate through this wild, crazy, beautiful world. In the studio, Tony Leonard. Man, this is my guy right here, y'all. Me and Tony go way back.
Yes, sir.
I'm talking about way back. I'm talking about Hot Wheels.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah.
Man, it's good to see you, man.
Hey, man, I'm glad to be here, man.
Oh, man. Let's get right into it, bro. Like, let's go to your first boxing promotion.
Oh yeah, man, yeah. Matter of fact, you were part of one of them that we put this thing together in the high five.
Yes,
we brought the city out.
Let's go back.
That had to be over 25 years ago, man. At least 20.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what it was, but it definitely was about 25 years ago.
I remember. I think I may have talked you into being a promoter.
Yeah.
I was like, Tony, you got to promote it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dave, you definitely put the boost to it. That's for sure. I always wanted to do it, but that was a big event, man. They came out like they was in Las Vegas when they found out Willie D was on the show.
Yeah, man. That was dope, man. You know, to be able to co-main event with Reggie Johnson, one of the preeminent boxers in the game, especially at that time. You know, that was beautiful, man. It was magic.
Reggie Johnson at that
see
time.
People come out like that, you know.
World champion in middleweight division. They had 2 belts at one time, Reggie Johnson. So from Houston, so it was a big time H-Town event. We brought Vegas to Houston.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And now look at you now, boy. Look at you now. Like, hey, man, you know, I didn't know that you was going to keep pushing like you did. Like, I thought you were going to say, okay, I'm going to do this here, make a little money, boom.
Yeah.
And now look at you, bro, man. You have managed or promoted, like, some of the biggest names in boxing. We're talking Roy Jones. We're talking Winky Wright. We're talking Floyd Mayweather, Chad Dawson.
I've been pretty
Diego
lucky.
Corrales. Man, you got Shakur.
Yeah.
Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah, rocking his head right now.
Man.
Shakur Stevenson. He just fought about 2 weeks ago. Beautiful, back home in Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah.
We sold that thing out, over 10,000 people.
Man,
it was a beautiful showing.
How good is Shakur Stevenson?
Look, man, as you mentioned earlier, you know, I don't work with a lot of fighters, including, you know, Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather.
Andre Ward.
Some of the best. And we just put it, you know, one of the pugilists as really at the game, as you want to say, you know, that made the most money. Probably nobody will never make as much as he done made as Floyd Mayweather. Mm-hmm. And I was around him his whole career. Matter of fact, I just was talking to him yesterday when I was out in Vegas. But Shakur Stevenson, man, even Floyd said it when he was back in, Shakur went to the 2016 Olympics. And Floyd went out there and
out with the silver.
Right before the gold medals. Floyd had mentioned that if anybody that I would say that was be pretty much as good as I did it, he endorsed that kid way back in 2016.
That is a big endorsement. That is a powerful endorsement.
Yeah.
Shakur Stevenson, were you at that fight when he fought in the Olympics?
Oh, no, I didn't make it down there. Yeah, that was in...
You saw the fight, though,
Oh, yeah,
right?
that was in Brazil. I even think he won the fight. You know what I'm saying? But he fought a 2-time guy that was from Cuba that won the Olympics in 2012. And them Cuban fighters, you know, back then, and I think they changed the rules a little now, but they can't turn pro. Most of them that become pro fighters, they have to, you know, what would you call it, like leave the country illegally to come over and fight. So they have a lot of amateur fights, you know. Most of those guys, that's their job, amateur fighting, and the government take care of them. Not very expensive, but their job is to, you know, amateur fighter. But I still think Shakur won it. I mean, he don't even talk about it. I never seen the silver medal around his neck. He never wore it again after that. That's how hurt he was by not winning that gold medal.
Yeah, that was one of the greatest concession speeches I've ever heard. When he hit the nail on the head, and you knew he was special early on. He knew even then that, like, he knows, like, I know I beat him in the ring. I know I beat him, but I didn't really beat him because I didn't destroy him.
Yeah.
Because he was the favorite.
Yeah.
You got to destroy the favorite.
That's correct.
You got to remove all doubt.
All doubt.
Like nobody can say, no, well, you know, it was close right here. It could have been close that round. And so, so he got it. No. He understood, like, I did not shut that dude down.
He understood.
I didn't destroy him.
Yeah.
You know, if they were fighting today, and the exact same fight in the pros, Shakur would win the fight.
Oh, yeah.
They would say that he won the fight. But because it was in the amateurs, and it was, at that time in the Olympics, this guy was, you know, he was the favorite.
Matter of fact, the guy that, his name won't come to me now, but now he's in the United States that Shakur lost to. Matter of fact, he lost his first pro fight. The guy that Shakur came up short against on the gold medal.
What's his record like now?
Right now, he just became world champion now, his last fight.
Oh,
but he lost his first fight.
What division?
And he fight at 126, so that's like a lightweight.
Yeah. And Shakur is steadily climbing.
Correct. Because Shakur now is one at 135.
He's 135.
Yeah.
Shakur, he's trying to, Shakur,
we're going to get all
he's
those
in that money.
26,
Ooh,
30.
Man, that's
we
the money
one at
division
26,
right there.
30. Now we at 35. We got to have all that smoke. Then we're going to get it at 40 and 47, just like Mayweather did it.
And you got Haney over there. You got Tank over there.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee, man.
We want all that smoke. They know it.
That's some... That I'm gonna be at those, any one of those.
Oh yeah, you gotta be there.
I'll be there. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
that is gonna be some good fighting right there.
Yeah.
Do you see any fighter today who could have been among the elite back in the 80s, 90s?
Yeah, I would say guys like Shakur because his defense is so well. You know, guys like that could fight in any era, you know, like Floyd Mayweather. Because defense, you know, is offense, you know, and they got both. And it's very rare. And guys, I would say like Terrence Crawford, he can fight in any era because he's a mean dude. That dude that not only can fight, but he built a lot different. I mean, he want to win it. I done seen him and Shakur. It don't matter what they doing, basketball, playing ping pong. I mean, it's like a challenge. Like, I don't care what it is. We here to win. Terrence Crawford.
Yeah.
He's a bad young man.
Yeah.
And I would give him, Shakur, you know, Gervonta Davis, Tank. He could fight. He could have fought in any era back then because them guys had a will to win, and they know that. They never coming in the mindset thinking they're going to lose. They saying you can't beat me. You know?
But let me sharpen my knife. What about killers? Because keep in mind, the 80s, everybody was a killer.
Yeah.
You're going to die in the ring in the 80s. You're going to die. Like every fight was brutal.
Yeah.
Like killers.
You don't
destroy you.
I agree with
you. Ain't no taking off rounds. If you take off a round, you getting your ass whooped.
It's hard to see those matches when Marvin Hagler, you know, and the Durans and the Tommy Hearn and the Ray Leonards.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see those type of fights to where from round 1 to round 12, I mean, they going at it like it's like that.
Why is that though? Because look, the thing is that the fighters are smarter today. They you know, many of the fighters, they're just, well, at least just as smart. They got more technology that they're working with. They have more resources. You know, a lot of these fighters today, they're very knowledgeable of the game. And they're just as strong, you know, and they come from those same environments.
Correct.
You know, why don't we see more of those wars?
Well, Hagler was just built. I mean, he never fought after he lost against Sugar Ray Leonard because you can't tell Marvin Hagler he didn't win that fight. You know what I'm saying?
And, you know, I watched that fight, man, and I watch it over and over and over again. And that's one of my favorite fights.
Correct.
And Hagler was always my guy. I thought Sugar was too flashy. You know, I ain't like all that flash. I liked Hagler reminded me more of me, you know, like the everyday man, the laborer, you know,
you straight
from,
up
from the mud, you know. And I felt that Hagler got robbed because I felt that Sugar Ray Leonard was moving, you know, running too much in the fight.
Yeah.
But I can see why they would give it to him because he was the favorite, and he did, Hagler didn't destroy him.
Correct. And it did that. And I could feel, it always been you got to beat the champ. I think Sugar Ray Leonard came off about a 2-year layoff. He had retired. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking he came back from not fighting in 2 years, and he challenged Marvin Hagler for his belt. Mm-hmm. And, it just depends. Ray Leonard always been the American golden boy. He won the gold medal in I think that was in the 76 Olympics, and he always been that guy. And, Ray Leonard always showed up, you know what I'm saying?
Make no mistake about it.
You know what I'm saying?
And the more I watch some of Leonard's old I'm like, this dude, I didn't even realize his greatness at the time. Yeah. I'm like, this dude was a killer, man.
Yeah.
Sugar Ray Leonard was a killer. They should have called him Bitter Ray Leonard.
That's right.
he was a killer, man.
He came to fight.
Even in the Hagler fight, he stuck and moved. He fought he fought a smart fight.
Yeah.
He boom, 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 boom. A lot like Floyd does.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, their name of their game is mostly they hit and not get hit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And and Floyd did take that through his whole career. I want to make sure all my capacities and everything is intact. I mean, because if you ever go to the Boxing Hall of Fame and see some of them old guys, man, you never know, maybe it's God's work when you get old, but some of them guys, when they get around 60-something years old and they was fighters like, I seen Joe Frazier and Ken Norton and all them guys when they got old. And I done seen guys 90 years old still get around like a young guy that's 50 or 60. But I seen them guys, man, like they weren't too good. And they went in too good a shape when they got in their 60s.
Do you ever feel any responsibility as a boxing promoter to make sure that you kind of look out to the fighters where they don't get hurt, or if they do down the line, they need some type of assistance or whatever, that you try to at least maybe step in, or at least, or even along the way, try to get them some type of guidance to make sure that they can take care of themselves after boxing? Yeah.
Well, I always been a guy like that. I never been a guy that was really driven by the money. But I tell these guys, there are some people that, spend $100,000 just in loans and grants just to get a college degree, just to come out in the world and make $100,000 a year. Some of these guys, they make anywhere from $3 million to $30 million in one night, in which that money gonna be made within the first time that bell ring and no longer than 36 minutes. That money guaranteed. Mm-hmm. So it ain't no illusion. If this is what they supposed to make, this is what they supposed to make. But I would tell most promoters, and managers, they pretty much ain't did the boxing thing. So they kind of, and it works kind of like with all athletes. And it's sad that it happens to a lot of us minorities. And, that can be an African-American or a Mexican fighter. But, I would definitely say they make enough money to, because you self-employed. So you're in charge of getting your own insurance and doing all the right things. But I would definitely tell you that I wouldn't manage or promote no fighter if his job is to block punches with his head. Because I can tell you, in the long run, career. It's not going to be good.
Yeah. What's his name? What's the guy name, man? He messed all up, man. I think he was a middleweight. Really a knockout artist.
Correct.
You had Terry Norris.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other guy, he was a hard hitter, man. McCullough.
Yeah, McCullough. That's right. Jerry McCullough.
Man, that dude was a hard hitter, man. But he messed all up, man. I think he got messed up before he was 30.
Yeah, man. I mean, it ain't nothing like. And I hate to see it, it's almost like getting a lot of money and don't take the time. I tell people all the time, when the money's there for you, you should get it. But at some point, you should, make some kind of proper good investment and look long term. And they have the ability with the amount of money they make. Most very wealthy people with longevity, generation money, pretty much is in real estate, you know what I'm saying? Because they ain't building no more land, and it's going to always be there. It ain't going to pretty much depreciate. It's pretty much mostly keep going up in value.
Now, you said they're not building any more land. I had to get you on that. Who built the land at first?
Well, you're right. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Just think about it. But
I know the expression. I just had to say it. You know me, man. I'm an a-hole at times.
That's all right. But go find me some new land.
Yeah.
If it's here, it's already been here.
Right.
You have to find it and cut down some trees, but it's there already. You ain't going to be like, like you could build a new car. Like your beautiful new car you just got. Next year it'll be another one. The land is here.
Yeah, right.
And you should invest in it, because it's going to be here forever.
The land don't get old, huh? It don't expire.
It don't get old.
Wow.
I mean, and that's what I keep thinking. I don't put a lot on school like a lot of people say, college degrees and all that is most of it just programmed for you to always be an employee. You know what I'm saying? So, but, everybody got gifts, but I can definitely say with certain athletes, a lot of them don't do the right things with their money. Yeah. I done seen guys make over $100 million and go broke. I don't know how the world that could ever happen, but
well, it wouldn't happen to you because you frugal. You don't do no flashing. Do you still drive that Benz you used to have? You remember that? You still got that Benz?
I still got a lot of them old cars to this day.
Yeah, boy, you ain't spending nothing. You sitting on all the money over there, sitting on that money.
I mean, I never bought a vehicle that I bought a couple. The new Corvettes now, I got talked into that just out of GP, but I'm a used car buying man because cars depreciate too much. I bought 2 new Corvettes, the 20 Corvette and the 22, just did it out of spurt, but other than that, I always wait till a car get 2, 3, 4 years old before I buy if I like something. I mean, that's pretty much me.
Man, something that I observed about you, your character, man, is like, you always in the mix of everything, but you in the cut. Low key, observant, always hip to what's going on, no flash, but always hip to what's going on, and you move in a lot of different social circles. You're not a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Like you ain't. It's like you can do boxing, you could do, special events, you can run a business over here or do that or whatever. Like, you have managed to carve out a very good life for yourself in one of the, under some big lights.
Yeah.
Over the years.
I've been kind of lucky.
Yeah, under some big lights.
Yeah.
But still maintain. You've been able to maintain your sanity.
Yeah.
Like I ain't seen like some people like they low key and then when they end up like getting on a big major platform, they change their kit up.
Yeah.
It's something totally different.
Nah. I just hate to see, great athletes. I done seen the rags to riches, then riches back to rags. Mm-hmm. I just don't want to be a part of that. One thing I tell any guys that I work with, just regular people, I don't know the difference between a rich man and a poor man because we all can get sick. We all just hoping our birthday keep coming because the death day going to come one day. It don't matter who you are. You know what I'm saying? So I just try to look at life as, I look at everybody like, if I ain't got nothing good to say about you, I ain't gonna say nothing bad about you. And I'm all right with just...
Unless you're cracking jokes.
Unless I'm cracking jokes. And now all I look forward to, the best words I want to hear is pawpaw from my grandkids.
What?
That makes me feel good.
You got grandkids?
4 of them.
What?
4 of them. Tell you, love them to death. My new next venture, I got a grandson, boy. He just 14 years old, boy, hitting that golf ball like Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
I just want to sail off in the sunset with him and be in the cut while he do his thing. You know what I'm saying? And I love boxing. As you can see, I got Big Baby Hill.
Yeah.
He the next heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah. What's Big Baby record now?
He 14-0 with 14 knockouts.
Ooh, we
Jared Anderson,
and we need a heavyweight champ. We need a killer.
Ooh.
We need a killer.
Oh, he's him. Tune in July the 1st. He the main event on ESPN. He making his debut. This the real deal, man.
Yeah,
this the real deal.
We need a killer. We need a killer in the heavyweight division.
We got what? Yeah. We got what Willie did. This is a bad dude. And quite naturally, you know, I'm always working. Got Shakur. I said, I'm going on Willie D show. I gotta shine, you know what I'm saying? But it ain't about me. I gotta promote my product, you know what I'm saying? I got my fighters, you know what I'm saying?
I see you. That's one thing about you.
But I got a few more. I got about 13 other fighters that's up and coming, but, you know, they haven't reached that pinnacle as world title like, you know, the Diegos and the Floyd and the Winky Wrights, but they on the way.
Which brings me to one of my questions about how you get these fighters so early.
Yeah.
You know, is somebody call and say, come check this guy out or whatever, then you hop on a plane? How does that go?
Well, it's just like recruiting in boxing is just like if you look at a great football player. If he was great in high school, he going to get recruited by a top college. And if he's great in college, he going to get drafted in the NFL. Same way with basketball. Boxing is the same way. You know, I watch the guys that's going to make the USA team. If you make the USA boxing team, that pretty much said they picked the best boxers that to go represent the United States in the Olympics. So I pretty much pay attention to those guys. And like I said, I've been around a long time, you know what I'm saying? So your track record speak for itself. You know, I could pick up the phone and call Floyd Mayweather, and he can tell you in 20 years, you know, I was involved with his career. Even to the day, like I told you, I just was on the phone with him yesterday. Because we were having a conversation about my grandson with golf. So he in Miami, so he was telling me, I got a golfer too, Tony. I was like, so he was asking me what my grandson's name was. Yeah. So, but other than that, I just pay attention to the amateurs. And, you know, pretty much, you know, they kind of know about you too because, you know, everybody follow each other. And some of the fighters that's on top, if you're an amateur, some of them guys is your favorite fighter because you trying to do what the Shakur and the Roy Jones and all them doing. Like Shakur, his favorite fighter was Floyd Mayweather. Andre Ward, his favorite fighter was Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather.
Right.
And it's the same thing.
And so to be able to work with you and Jay, you know, your partner.
Correct.
So y'all hitting them from both sides.
Both sides.
You the promoter, Jay the manager.
Yeah.
And, you know, you pay the fighter. Jay make sure you pay the fighter.
You know him. You was under Jay well. He ain't gonna take the risk when he doing the pay. He want the percentage from what you gonna pay, and he gonna make sure the promoter make as little as possible. What he can make just get the fighter as much as they can.
Yeah, because the fighter taking the most risk.
Yeah.
You know, he taking a risk with his life. The fighter,
I don't have no problem with the fighter making the bulk of the money.
The fighter is taking is risking his life. I mean, like literally, like, and that's the thing. Even as an amateur, I was cognizant of the fact that when I walk in that ring, I know that I may not walk out.
That is true.
I walk in, I know. But it's one of those things. You was a fighter, you know what I'm saying? So you know, like that feeling that you have about fighting, like, you know, it's dangerous as it is. It's an adrenaline rush that's very, very difficult to describe.
They got an old saying, you don't get crazy from boxing. You got to be crazy to do it.
Yeah, right. Right. Exactly.
But now, you know, but I would definitely tell guys, if you know, you got to put the work in. You know, the great ones, you know, Shakur Stevenson just fought in April. Mm-hmm. He already been back in the gym, and he probably not going to even fight until November or December, and he still train every day. Yeah. You know, because I give him them stories like it ain't no by accident that Floyd Mayweather was that good. He worked when you was sleeping. This kid was working because he was in his mindset. I heard him make those statements that I'm gonna make more money than any fighter. I heard those statements, so I can tell people it's not by luck. His mindset was like that. I know the mindset of Andre Ward. You know, I was there with him. Like, look, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to focus strictly on boxing. He became a Christian, and his life was family, boxing, and the Lord. That's it.
When you met Andre when you was there when he won the gold medal, right?
Yeah, I was there when he won the gold medal.
Right. So I remember I met Andre for the first time in Miami. I think we might have been at the Source Awards or something like that. We was out there for some award show or something. We was out in Miami. All of us were together.
Correct.
And I remember him being just this real chill, humble dude way back then.
Yeah.
Now, you watched him go from the amateurs, from winning the gold medal in the Olympics.
Yeah,
I mean the biggest stage in boxing.
Yeah,
you know,
he was the first one who won it in 2004. We hadn't won a gold medal since '96.
Right, we had a major drought.
Correct.
So he wins it, right?
Correct.
Then he goes on to win multiple world championships, and then he racks up a 32-0 record, 32 fights. 33 wins. I mean,
Correct.
32 wins.
Yep.
And then one day you hear the words coming out of his mouth that he's retiring.
Yeah.
At the time, this is your biggest fighter that's in the stable.
Yeah.
And he decides
that
he wants to retire.
Yeah.
What is your reaction, your initial reaction? Not after you processed everything, but when you first heard it.
Yeah.
What did you think?
You know what? I was okay with it because Andre Ward could have made way more money than he made. So I seen the process that by him being such a Christian, it's certain things he wouldn't do, money. There's time that, he was so into his wife and family, he wouldn't even take a picture with the ring card girls, certain things. In certain places, he wouldn't fight if he didn't feel like it's too much, wrong going on around here. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so when he retired, we was already getting prepared for what he's doing now as a commentator. So I told him at this time, and Jay spoke on it too, look, a lot of these guys, when their career is over with, some of them have so much access to where when this money ain't coming in no more, it's hard to maintain that type of lifestyle. Especially most fighters, you ain't gonna see nobody with too much with a college degree boxing. You understand what I'm saying? So most of these guys don't know how to do nothing but what they make their living from, boxing. So I mentioned to him, study commentating. Go watch all the great commentators, study and practice. So when this over with and you decide, since you was the face of HBO at that time, he had started commentating when he wasn't fighting sometime. Mm-hmm. So he got a good groom of it. So when HBO decided not to do boxing no more, and Dre retired after the big fights we had with, nobody thought nobody could beat Kovalot. So we went up to 75 and beat him twice. And then after that, Dre took on coming, and he was real frugal with his money. Only one house, you know what I'm saying? He started out in a nice apartment, then he got a nice condo, and then after that, he bought the house that he live in now. Only had 3 cars, a car for himself, SUV for his wife, and a truck. Still to this day. He was the type of guy, he don't wear number Jordan because he had a Jordan brand deal, so they sent him all the clothes you can imagine. And with the Lord on his side, and he made a bunch of babies now. He got 5 kids. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But other than that...
Well, the Lord said be fruitful and multiply.
That's right. Okay, then. He was definitely that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But other than that, I wasn't surprised. I love to see, don't let the game retire. Retire, at your pace. Yeah. I mean, because just think about it, Willie D. You done made over $40 million. Just tell me if you took care of your money right, and if you don't know how to invest it, then the best investment is no investment. You know what I'm saying? Because if everything paid for, you ought to be able to live off $200,000 a year. Mm-hmm. In reality, if your house is paid for, your Your cars are paid for. When you get rid of one, you get rid of another one. I mean, you ain't what you need. There's some of the athletes got 15 cars. You know, they bought their mama a $3 million house. Your mama don't need no $3 million house, but she'll take it if you buy it for her. Yeah. And most of us, we came from tough times. If you bought your mama a $300,000 house, she'd be happy with it.
I heard Gabrielle Union saying that she stresses over money, and I think I read somewhere where she's reportedly worth $40 million. And Dwayne Wade is worth about $170 million.
Yes.
And she says she stresses over money because not only does she have the bills that she have at her house, but she also pays other people's bills at other houses. Yeah. And I'm saying to myself, these other people are not supposed to be living that good.
That's exactly
if that's making you stress and you got that kind of bread.
You got it. That's right.
Because I remember when I first started making money, man, I used to try to help everybody.
Yeah.
And when I got hurt, there was no help for me.
They can't help you because they don't have the type of money you like. What can I do to help you with it? You come from a very wealthy 8-9 figure money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you needed something, how can I help you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's tough.
Yeah, it is. Let's talk about Diego Corrales. Diego Corrales was he was a killer.
Oh, yes.
Diego Corrales was a killer.
Yes.
Which fight was that where he got back up like 3 times?
That was Castillo. Oh,
I've never seen somebody so out of the fight.
Done.
Like you almost like man, they didn't stop that, man. They didn't stop that fight. And he got up. How many times? 2 times? Was it 3?
3 times.
And came back warrior, man, and knocked that boy out.
Knocked his boy out. To this day, that's about the top 5 of all time fights.
Man, that's one of the greatest fights ever. You're you're right. Yeah. That one's right there with that Hagler. That Sugar Ray Leonard. Tommy Hurst.
Ooh.
Can't remember which one it was. The first, because they fought twice.
Yeah, they fought twice. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But anyway, Diego. Were you out there in Vegas when he died? Right.
I was there, right up the street from the house.
Yeah. So he jumps on the motorcycle and bend the corner, and then next thing you know, do somebody come back and say it happened first, or do you hear sirens? Did you hear the sirens? Then you went to check, or you just knew?
No. Well,
how'd you find out?
You know what? It was just the next light over from the house that we have out there in Vegas. Uh-huh. It was just the next light over. So his wife called us and said Diego was in an accident. And we literally got up and rolled around the corner. And like you say, he was on a motorcycle. And, he went to go around the car. And when he went around, he went head on to the other car in the traffic. And
was he going fast?
I mean, if you're on a motorcycle, you ain't got to be going fast if you hit another car head on.
Right.
And when he went around, he realized, whoa, a car coming. Boom.
Yeah.
And then when we went out there, man, that bike was there. And when I seen him, I knew it was over, man. He was laying he could have been about 10 yards away from where the bike was, but it was bad. And I went right there and witnessed him laying right there. I actually was worried with him when he would get on that motorcycle. I actually bought a motorcycle and said, and I ain't crazy about motorcycles, but I cared about him. I'm going to ride with him.
Yeah, keep him safe. Yeah.
Keep him, safe, because
Tony, you're a motherfucker, man. You're a motherfucker, Tony.
I bought a bike for it. Yeah, that's me. Yeah. I bought a bike. Sure did. And that's where I was like, at least if I ride with him, I can, I just always I just think about stuff like that. Because a lot of people, it ain't the bike that can hurt you, it's the person that's on the bike.
Yeah.
That's dangerous,
And see, that's me. Because I'm telling you, bro, like anything that don't have 4 wheels, I'm crashing that shit. I'm crashing, bro. Like it's something about it, man.
You know speed. You like private speed. But you always been a guy like, if anybody know Willie D, they know. brother, whatever I got to tell you, I'm going to tell you in your face. If you ain't around, I'm going to come look for you to tell you about it. You always been a solid dude. You just, that's the way you was built, you know what I'm saying? And still to this day, you know, you been that guy like that. Like, I'm Willie D. This me. It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? You know, and it always been good. But if it ever had to be like, we need to talk about something, you ready to talk about it. We can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to hear from nobody else. You been that dude. Yeah. You know, and we cut from the same cloth, but you know, your approach may be a little different sometimes.
Well, you know, I do what I can on a small budget. Man, how much of this game do you want? Like, how much of it do you want? Like, right now, you're doing good for yourself. Yeah. You know, you got some of the top fighters in the game. You know, like, you got one of the greatest prospects with Shakur Stevenson. Yeah. You know, as far as, like, not just really a prospect, he's already a champion. Yeah. But I'm talking about as far as prospect for Hall of Fame. You know, how much of this game do you want?
I would tell you, I promoted my first fight back in 1999. And 89, I'm sorry, in the 89. And I would say I've been in the game about 34 years as a promoter. I started out managing first. I had a little kid named Donald Sugar Ray Capers. Boy, he was like a Sugar Ray Leonard. But at that time, you know, we didn't get to where I lost him to Don King. That's how I first met Don King. We beat one of his top fighters. Mm-hmm. And next thing you know, they got him from me. But it was a learning style. But I would say right now, with the fighters that I have now, I'm not into. I don't need other fighters. You know, Shakur is 6 years into a pro, and Floyd boxing for 20 years. I would give, you know, different times and different eras now. 15 years will still be good for a kid like Shakur, and he'll be dominant at it. Could do it 20 years because he lived boxing in his style. Yeah. But, you know, 15 years from now, I'm going to be 75 years old. You understand what I'm saying? So I can still do it because Bob Aaron, the guy that runs Top Rank, that I do most of my business with, which pretty much all my business with, because he have an exclusive deal with ESPN. So we do like 31 fights a year on ESPN, and it's unlimited on ESPN Plus, depending if they want to pick it up. So he's 92 years old, and he's still at every fight. Mm-hmm. But I would tell you that me, myself, I could walk away from boxing right now, but I wouldn't walk away from the young guys. It's just more than being a promoter to them. I'm like I consider myself like a big brother, a big uncle, a big father, whatever.
I was going to, you beat me to the punch again. Yeah. No pun intended. Yeah. But I was about to say, you haven't walked away from the game, or you're not going to walk away from the game anytime soon because you feel a sense of commitment. Correct. If you did walk away and one of the guys say, Tony, but I need you, man. I need you. Damn, I don't really want to, but I'll do it for you, man. I'll come on back. You know what I'm saying? Like if one of them guys call you or Jay call and say, come on, Tony, man, let's just get a few more under our belt, man. Let's get a few more, man. We need to do this together.
Yeah. Stuff means stuff to me, like you, with you. Just early this morning, I was doing an ESPN here, shooting 3 days for Jared Anderson, Big Baby, because he fight July the 1st. This morning, we were shooting the scene at 9 o'clock. Today, he's at the gym, and he had to be there for 1 o'clock. But to me, you know, I gave my word, and you like family to me. You know, I knew you before I knew any of these guys. I kept it real. I said, look here, I'm going to do this show with Willie D. I did this and done that. I don't have to be there, but I would be there because that's what I do. But at the same time, this is important for me to come on your show. You invited me on here, and I had to do it. He's at the same time I had to be here, at the same time he's sparring there. Right. But I told him, I said, look, I'm going to do Willie D. And that's what it is.
And what I told you about ESPN.
I don't want to know what you told about. You know, I get checks for working with ESPN, so I ain't gonna repeat it.
But I appreciate that, man, because you know, to me, loyalty is everything.
It mean everything, and this is still the same.
Yeah.
You know, we talking about boxing, we talking about, I came and do your show, but at the end of the day, it's to help do what I'm doing in boxing. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the stuff we talking about is real life, and it's still about boxing and all the friendship that in years that we done went through. So it all works both ways, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not there to spawn, but look what we doing. Everybody gonna see this. Everybody gonna know by July the 1st that if I wasn't on this show, there's people that watch Willie D show that don't even watch boxing. Then we talking about all these great fights that they didn't know your background is boxing too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You really, really love boxing, and you know boxing. You were good. You great at music, but boxing is something you could have done. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No doubt about it.
You alluded to Don King earlier. You was talking about him taking your fight away from you, beating you to the punch with a fight. Yeah.
Well, he didn't take it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he beat you to the punch.
I had to fight him. It's just the nature of the business. We beat Rene Redondo. That was the guy that beat Floyd Mayweather, Uncle Roger Mayweather. So he was just we went and fought him in his hometown, somewhere in Mexico. I can't even think where we was. We was only 4 black people there. It was just a tune-up fight because he gonna now have to fight Roger Mayweather again in the rematch. And then we happened to beat the kid, Rene Redondo. I mean, it was just a big surprise, like with something me and you would know. Like, I don't know what y'all know, but you got the wrong kid. This is a bad dude here. Yeah. And after that, that's the way it worked. Man, he just beat my word, just beat the guy that beat, Roger Mayweather. This dude is bad, but they don't know what it took to babysit this little kid. He never even fought again before then. And Don King wanted to, say, wow, what happened?
I want to address that. Like, with boxing, people don't see the journey with the fighters when you first get them before they ever win a pro fight, or sometimes they've only won a few fights and nobody really knows who they are. Right. You take them under your wing. You house them, you clothe them, you feed them, you counsel them, you teach them, you coach them. You get them ready for the world stage, and then all of a sudden they either don't want to do it anymore, or they want to get in the streets, or they want to go and jump ship and go with somebody else. Yeah. Have you had a fighter do that to you?
I ain't never had one. Unfortunately, I ain't had one to lead me to go to no one else. Yeah. Because what I try to do in anything, I try to get to know the girlfriends and teach them. We on the same team, you know what I'm saying? This is not no help. You can still win a basketball game and don't get in the game. You know what I'm saying? You can win the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter you playing the game or not. Everybody go get a Super Bowl ring. Right. Same as basketball, any other sport. Right. But when it comes to boxing, can't nobody lose it for you. LeBron James can score 40 points and still lose the game. But when it's one-on-one, this is on this guy. I'm better than him, and if I'm prepared right, I can beat this guy. You know what I'm saying? So I try to explain all the fundamentals on how to be better prepared to win it. Can't nobody lose it but you. But if you ain't prepared right, you can be the greatest fighter, skillful-wise, but if you don't match your condition with your talent, if you get tired in the 6th round, it ain't going to come back. You ain't going to all of a sudden get no burst of energy in the 8th round unless this guy get tired. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Right. It's not going to work that way. When the legs go, the head going to follow. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get no burst of energy. But things happen like that. Look, the Lakers just lost last night. You hear LeBron talking about, I don't know what's going on there, And And it's all about your surrounding. You take the Joe Morant guy, the basketball player. Think about it. He waved the gun. But somebody else had to record that. Now, you had to put this out for somebody to see him. What kind of friend you really got?
Right.
To know, why would you put this on live or social media when you know I just got in trouble for that? If I'd have thought you were going to do that, I just know he can't be that messed up. You know, with a $200-something million contract, I know you can't be that messed up to know. And how you can have a friend while you driving in the car and he recording you live, and how do that work? Is because you feeding him. He ain't no NBA player. And if it don't matter how much money you got, they all got best homeboys. They take care of all them dudes. You eat at the best restaurant by being associated with him. You get to fly on private jets, getting in the best parties.
Get access to the best girls.
Everything.
Or at least the best looking girls.
There. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So how could you not lift your people up and say, look, man, behind closed doors, we can be just as crazy as we want to be. But, man, this social media world is unreal, man. You can go out with, you can be Willie D and be hanging out with your sister, and it gonna be procrastinated that Willie D was with another girl, and nobody will know that it's your sister until you tell them. But that story gonna go that way first, because you're famous.
Bomani Jones had an interesting take on the Ja Morant gun flashing incident, right? Bomani said that everybody's talking about how this friend was not a good friend because he wouldn't have filmed that and all of that. He said, and that Ja needs to get from around these guys.
Correct.
He said, if I'm the guy, I'd get from around Ja Morant. He the one flashing the gun.
Yeah.
He said in so many words. I can't paraphrasing, but
correct.
In so many words, he's like, he the one flashing the gun. He the one always doing this crazy stuff.
That's right.
You know,
yeah.
The friends may need to get some new friends.
Now he got a good point there too. Yeah, he do. He got a good point.
You know, everybody keeps saying the guy's just 23 years old. You know, give him a break, give him a break. But there are some guys who's 23 years old that we're walking on right now. You know, because they did not, they wanted to be wild, and society is unforgiving about that. Like
Well, one thing I would tell you, all these things is put in place now with every professional sport. There's somebody, when the rookies come in and veterans come in, they have all this stuff in place. There's someone going to come and talk to you that represent that team. Whether it's a lawyer or whatever you call them, that's going to tell you these things try not to do because it's going to get you in some situation. They got counseling that these people are talking, so you may not be listening, but you heard this stuff, like this can mess you up. And if we get a lot of pressure from this, whether we want to or not, we're going to be forced to do something about it. I mean, who cares about if a guy got a girlfriend and cheated on his girlfriend? There are people that lose their job. It's a coach that lost his job by something personal that should have had nothing to do with this NBA team.
Right.
But they have.
But if you embarrass the team, if you cause a scandal,
they will do it. It'll happen, man.
They can push you around.
It'll push you. So when you see these guys do these things, it's just hard. I see it all the time. These athletes have that attitude, man. I don't give nothing about that. Boom, boom, boom. They really be thinking like until it happened, then they were wow. But people be trying to help them, and they get out here in this party lifestyle, and I don't know what they put in this Casamigo, but boy, it makes them act up pretty bad, man. And everybody says, even if you did smoke marijuana, it's almost like, is it legal now? Now people just try it for the first time. Like, this ain't really a drug. I mean, but it's definitely going to get you high, you know what I'm saying? And if you're an athlete, you're high. And I ain't saying it's drinking and alcohol, but I know one thing. Somebody tell me, man, I can drink as much as I want, it don't do nothing to me. Then why you drinking? If it don't do nothing to you. It's impossible.
Do you drink?
I don't drink at all. But my mom and dad drank. Never did.
You never drink?
I ain't never drank.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah, I ain't never drank.
You got that natural high, huh?
I'm just on a natural good high.
Yeah.
Well, it ain't on a natural good high. It's just that I seen what it done. You know, I witnessed it. My mom and dad was together forever until both of them passed away. But when they drank it, they had a, you know, they would have misunderstanding. Next day, they act like ain't nothing happened. So I seen it. I had brothers that, you know, but don't make. I don't glorify because you don't drink or smoke, don't make you better than nobody now. Don't get that twisted. I got a man that don't drink, he's a better man because you drank. That's not true. I'm just really, I count anything. I was like, man, all this stuff costs money. I see people like they smoke 4 packs of cigarettes. Man, I count that as money. You know what I'm saying? I ain't wasting my money like that. You know?
Come on, man. You know, you can buy a few packs of cigarettes, man, and a couple of beers,
I mean, back in the day, I looked at cigarettes like that. I need that money. I ain't doing that. First of all, like I taste what I did try.
Yeah. You tight, but you ain't that tight, man. You just don't like it. You just don't like it. That's all it is to it.
I've never been in
that ain't your thing. That's just not your thing.
I've never been in anything I wanted. Only thing I really wanted to do, and I'm gonna keep it real, was working the boxing business. Yeah. And even though to this day he get a bad rap, you know, the guy that made me want to be a boxing promoter was Don King. Because I seen what he did. I seen, if you didn't come see the fight, you seen the athlete and the artists and everybody that came to his event. I mean, he used to have an event where red carpet is where the stars came down. See, a fight is like this when it's a mega fight. See, you can miss going to the Lakers playing Boston because they're going to play them again. When that mega fight is there, it's like, hey, this fight is happening there. I got to be there. So there are some people that go to a boxing match and say, I got to be there, and say, I can miss the Lakers. They're going to play them again. Right. I catch that game. Now, think about it. You won't go back and watch and see how a person won a football game or a basketball game or none of that. You'll just go watch highlights. Look at a fight. You'll go right now and watch Sugar Ray Leonard and Hagler fight from end to end like it was just happening. Yeah. You don't want can't nobody just tell you he won that fight. You're gonna say, don't tell me that. I know he won. I still want to see the fight. Mm-hmm. You ain't gonna go do that. Lakers lose. I ain't even watch the game. He said Lakers lost. I ain't gonna go and look at the game. I'm gonna just watch some of the highlights on ESPN. But a fight, I was at this fight this weekend with Lomachenko and Devin Haney. I was there watching it. I still watched it again on TV because I really wanted to see it again and willing to watch it one more time.
Did you feel it was unanimous?
After I watched it, now I'm at the fight. I kept a reservation because I'm there. And you got to remember, 90% of the crowd that was there was for the undercard guy that was Valdez, was the Spanish fighter. And the rest of those people was more fans for Lomachenko because he from the Ukraine. He got out of boxing and went served in his country and got in the war because, you know, Russia invaded Ukraine. This kid was a soldier. So when this so-called kind of still going on, but it's a little better now. Now, he got out of boxing for over a year and got shoulder to shoulder with his people. So that's brainwashing people to think, I'm more favorable for this guy. Look at this guy. This is a good guy. You know what I'm saying? But after I watched the fight, now, at the fight, I'm telling you, 90% of that crowd think Devin Haney lost that fight. You know, now them boxing fans, and they came to a fight. But I studied boxing, so that's why I went and watched it. After I looked at the fight, I would say Devin Haney won. Yeah. But it could have been a draw and nobody been mad. I would say if I was Devin Haney, I'd run the fight back and do the rematch and he gonna beat him easy. Because he gonna have a problem if he get in there with Shakur Stevenson. And Shakur Stevenson is the mandatory. Devin Haney gonna have a problem. Don't get this Lomachenko money again, cause he gonna have a problem for sure with Shakur Stevenson, and it could be a problem with Tank, you know. But both of them gonna have a problem with Shakur Stevenson. He that good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he that good.
Who do you think? Let me ask you this: people still taking dives in boxing?
No, people just, when they start getting their ass whooped, they say the check is made, man. I'm not going back out there. And some of these trainers shouldn't let their fighters go back out there. I just seen the fight, like on the undercard of this Lomachenko and Devin Haney. I was like, one of my undercard kids was fighting a kid. And I was like, his name Abdullah Mason. I was like, I don't know why they keep sending that man out there. And my kid ended up knocking him out in the last round, but they could have stopped that fight after the fourth round, man. That dude was punishing that kid pretty bad.
Yeah.
They should have stopped it. But do I think people act? Now, I think people know they ain't going to win. You know what I'm saying? But do people actually talk about, you know, oh, you going to lose this fight, you going, nah. But their promoters know that you ain't going to beat him. But if this dude don't do what he's supposed to do, you could get your ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? It can happen. Yeah, it could happen.
How likely is it that Shakur Stevenson fights Tank Davis?
Well, they gonna have to fight. One thing about it is just like when me and you go back all the way into the 90s. You know, at some point, you know, they both keep winning. It's like, what are you gonna do? The money gonna get so big. You know, Floyd Mayweather fought. They was talking about Floyd Mayweather fighting Manny Pacquiao 7 years earlier before they ever fought. 7 years earlier, they both probably would have made $10 million apiece. When they did fight, the pay-per-view did $460 million, and the gate did $82 million. They both made over $150 million in that one night. Mm-hmm. So they eventually gonna have to fight each other. There's no doubt about it. But I don't have no problem with it happening, you know, 2 years from now. It just makes the money get better.
So pretty much what you're saying, all they got to do is be like you and keep winning.
Well, like I tell you, I'm winning in life when I hear Pawpaw. I just want to hear my grandkids. I'm good. Yeah. That's real talk. Yeah. I ain't going to tell now one of my fighters to keep fighting just for me to make money. Yeah. I go for Shakur, Jarrett, no. They want to get out the game. I ain't got no problem with it. I ain't going to say, man, you crazy? You don't keep boxing? I ain't going to say that. Now it's called prize fighting. If you sitting up here and you can make $30 million and somebody talking about $25 million, but you like, I ain't going to fight unless they pay me $30 million. I'm like, look, man, we done got to all the negotiation. This is all can be made. You mean you going to not fight at all? I would tell him, now that don't make no sense now. Because this fight is happening now. What if you go and get in a car wreck and break your leg and end your career? Mm-hmm. You gonna think about, wow, things can happen. It ain't got to happen in the ring.
Yeah, I've seen that happen.
You seen that happen?
I've seen that happen. That money on that table, man. Take that money off the table and then ask for some more.
There you go.
Get the money off the table. That's how that goes.
I mean, you know, we done did all we can do. It's just like the Joe Morant. He keep this up, and this doesn't happen. Once they remove you totally out the NBA, now you ain't no threat to nobody. Mm-hmm. See my point? Now they ain't got to worry about how much money that you missing or nothing. You ain't in the NBA no more. So you the only one got messed over. Because if this team get rid of you and they ban you, nobody wants you. This didn't happen. Look what the football player. They just taking a knee. Now, at the end of the day, he was really telling you why I did it. Then the officer do what he did and killed a man with the knee. Now everybody understand, wow. Now, they didn't let this man play no more because of that. This man still could play football. You understand what I'm saying? But they just moving it all out the equation. They done did that with a few basketball players. I can't think of one basketball player. They offered him back in the day a $30 million contract. He said, man, I can't take care of my family with this. Now, all of a sudden, he ain't playing at all. Next day you read, he done lost the house, the yacht, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was over 20 years ago when this dude said something like this. $30 million is the same equivalent as $300 million now, 20 years ago. Still the same. The same house that cost you $30 million 20 years ago, that house was $2 million. They get the numbers mixed up, Willie. They don't understand it, Willie.
A fool and his money will always part.
Yeah. And that be my whole story. You want to have a conversation with me about life, rather sports or whatever it is, I'm going to talk about the real world. Because in that third world over there, what we tripping on, talking about, we poor. You ain't seen poor until you go to a third world country and you see kids with no roof on their head, eating off the ground, dying because they got nothing to eat, no running water. That's crazy.
Yeah, sleeping on a dirt floor.
Sleeping on the dirt floor. How can you not feel their pain?
Yeah.
And we worried about silly stuff. Like, come on, man. It ain't right.
Well, man, I appreciate you, man, sitting down and allowing the people to eavesdrop on one of our conversations.
Oh, yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about. And then they want to know why we at peace all the time. See, this conversation that we let them get the real us, then now we can tell them, man, find you somebody else to fool with, my brother, because whatever we went through, we going to put that to rest in 30 seconds. We done with that. Tomorrow is not even a conversation for us.
Right.
We moving on.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Leonard.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, King.
Hey, everybody tune in to Willie D Live.
No more talk.
You gonna get it raw and uncut.